Blackpool FC are a championship club from Blackpool in Lancashire, and they play at Bloomfield Road, named after the road it is next to, which has a capacity of 16,616. Blackpool's badge shows a simplistic version of the town coat of arms, surrounded by the words Blackpool Football Club and 2 dots. The actual town coat of arms is mostly yellow and black, but on the badge this has been replaced by orange, as that is the colour the team play in. On the coat of arms itself we see black and orange waves to represent the sea and sand, with a seagull in the middle. Above that we see a fleur-de-lis for the Banks family, a lion for the Cocker family, and a thunderbolt in the middle representing the town's famous electric trams. Above that is some heraldry, with a tower which suggests solidarity and grandeur. And then above that is a windmill for the Fylde area and a red rose of Lancashire. Beneath all of this is a banner with Progress written on it. Blackpool were founded in 1887 and became founding members of the Lancashire League in 1889 and were invited into the Football League 2nd Division in 1896. Blackpool would remain a 2nd Division club, barring 1 year, for the next 3 decades, but in 1930 they won the 2nd League Division title and were promoted to the 1st Division for the first time. They would be relegated a few years later but returned to the top in 1937, entering a golden period under manager Joe Smith. After World War II, Blackpool would quickly be in 3 FA Cup finals in 1948, 1951 and 1953. They'd lose the first 2 of those finals to Manchester United and Newcastle United, but then beat Bolton in 1953 in what is known as the Matthews Final. It was called that because Sir Stanley Matthews, one of the best and most influential players of all time, had an amazing game helping Blackpool come back from a 3-1 deficit to win 4-3. Whilst it is known as the Matthews Final, he didn't actually score a goal. Instead, Stan Mortensen got a hat-trick, the only one in an FA Cup final held at the original Wembley Stadium, before Bill Perry got the winner in the 92nd minute. Blackpool continued their good form with Matthews in the 1950s, getting 4 top 6 placed finishes in the top division, their highest being 2nd in 1956. That same year, Stanley Matthews became the first recipient of the Ballon d'Or. Whilst this is a remarkable achievement in itself, it's even more remarkable that he did it at the age of 41. Yes, he was 41 and he played right wing. Blackpool would then be relegated in the top flight in 1967. Outside of 1 season in the top flight again, they'd remain as a 2nd Division side for the next decade. However, starting in the late 70s, they had a massive decline, suffering multiple relegations, which by 1981 saw them in the 4th tier. After gaining promotion to the 3rd tier in 1985, Blackpool would then be bought in 1987 by the Oyston family. For the next couple decades, Blackpool milled around in the 3rd and 4th tiers of English football. During this time, their owner, Owen Oyston, was convicted of a rape and served a 3.5-year prison sentence. Starting in the 2000s, though, Blackpool would begin their climb back up to the top flight, gaining promotion from the 4th tier via the playoffs in 2001, then winning 2 Football League trophies in 2002 and 2004, then gaining promotion to the Championship in 2007 through the playoffs, their first time back in the 2nd tier for 29 years. Then in 2010, Blackpool once more used the playoffs to get back to the top flight after 39 long years. Blackpool unfortunately would be relegated in their first season back, finishing 19th. The following season they again went to the playoff final, but this time finally lost to West Ham in the last minute. After staying in the Championship for a few more years, Blackpool's reckoning began just before the 2014 season, when 27 first-team players left the club just weeks before the start of the campaign. Blackpool were in chaos and would be relegated in back-to-back years, putting them in the 4th tier once again. Blackpool would quickly return to the 3rd tier in 2017, and in 2018 the Oyston family was ruled by a high court to have been illegitimately stripping the club of assets. The club was then sold a year later. And finally, in 2021, Blackpool were promoted again via the playoffs to the Championship, where they are today. Their greatest achievement would be their FA Cup win in 1953. Blackpool famously wear a tangerine shirt and began doing so on the advice of a referee in 1923, as he had refereed a match between the Netherlands and Belgium and liked the Dutch colours. They combine this with white shorts and tangerine socks. Their nicknames include Seasiders, the Pool and the Tangerines. Their main rivals are Preston, with whom they contest the West Lancashire Derby, but recently, due to the ascension of Fleetwood Town, they too have become a nearby rival. Other rivals include Lancashire clubs like Bolton, Blackburn and Burnley. One interesting fact about Blackpool is that in 2015, a game was abandoned in the 46th minute due to a protest by fans storming the pitch, angry at the owners and management. And that was the quick history of Blackpool FC. Up next is Bolton Wanderers.